Hey, what's up, everybody? Colin here. We just had an epic episode 87, the first one of 2020 with Steve Nudelberg and sons, Marc and Jake Nudelberg. You guys, welcome to the show.
Thanks
Thanks for being here. That show, had a lot of energy. It's rare that we have guests on the show that have more energy than we do. but it was awesome.
We like hanging out.
Yeah, that was great. We should do it all the time.
It's hard to get a word in our world.
I loved it. I mean, sometimes when you have guests on, you're trying to pull the conversation out of them. It's way easier when you don't have to.
Yep, no doubt. Just go ahead. Just go ahead.
Let us know when you're done.
Just keep going. But no, that was a heck of a lot of fun.
Thanks.
So this is the side hustle, just a little extra piece of content that we like to do. And I have one question for you guys, and we'll just go down the row.
Cool.
But what defines success for you? We came off this podcast talking about gratitude and happiness and all these opportunities. I mean, so much. What defines success for you?
You want me to go first? Or you go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
To me, is the network of people around me that I help find success. That makes me successful then. Money, cars, whatever, all that's great, but that doesn't define success for me. For me, it's about your network of people that you've helped make successful lives. Because to me, it was in coaching, right? How many guys did I help graduate, get through school, go to the next level, go to the NFL, accomplish their dreams? That's what makes you a successful coach, is not how many wins you have, but how many people you've coached that you've helped go. So now that I'm not in coaching anymore, still the same thing. How many people do I know that I can connect to somebody to do something to help make them successful? So it's the network of people around me that defines success for me.
Love it.
I'm gonna let my dad go first.
He's got the best. No. I mean, for me, success is sitting right next to me. I mean, that's how I measure my job as a father, was to create two vibrant, independent human beings who will add value to the world, and I did that, and I continue to do that, and the bond that we share, this is something that I treasure and look forward to doing, and the way people view it and say to me, wow, you're really lucky. Luck has nothing to do with it, man. We work hard at being in each other's lives and caring about each other, and it just doesn't get any better. Well, maybe it does get better. So, now he's a father, and I get to be a grandfather and share that wisdom. So when I hear them talk and see what they do, I did my job, and I have unbelievable, feelings about that.
That's awesome.
And not to take the same idea or fall in line with my dad, but it does piggyback, and that's kind of why I let him go first. Family is in relationships is really the most important to us, and it's been instilled with us our entire life. He's actually got the tattoo. Me and my brother are wearing long sleeves, but we all have the same tattoo tatted on us. It's the last name Nudelberg, and then all three of our initials. And me and him were talking about it the other day. It was, we're best friends. All three of us are best friends. And when we're together, we realize how fortunate and successful we all are. We have our health, we have each other. And so that really is success in life.
That's awesome.
And just to piggyback off that, because I think it's important to know how we're not afraid to have the hard conversation.
Really good.
With any of us, we keep it 100 with each other all the time. It's difficult, and it's taken a long time for us to get there, but because we tell each other the truth constantly and aren't afraid to have the hard conversations, that's what makes our bond so great. Yeah. So, and we support each other.
That's what people think. Oh, it's going to be so. That's so great. Well, it's only great because we have dirt. We are there for each other, good and bad. So, actually, Pete Carroll has something that's related to coaching every Monday. Is tell the truth. Tell the truth Monday. He instilled that in his teams so that they're not bullshitting each other and go, hey man, you know what? You're a great quarterback. No, guess what, dude? You fucked up. And you know what? That kind of honesty builds growth, man. That's where the growth comes from. It's like, wow, you know what? Thanks for sharing with me. I'll get better. And, whoa, to his point, they're not always great conversations, but we love, the love is always there throughout. There's that foundation that allows you to have the trust and all that stuff. Nice work, boys.
Cool.
So we talked about the book, the 27 rules for influencers and leaders. You said you've basically been rules for 40 years, right? And I'm curious, has there ever been a need to put a 28th rule? And has there ever been something to come up?
Look at these questions.
Yeah.
So a lot of times people ask, first of all, people say, how long did it take you to write the book? And I tell them 40 years. And they're like, what do you mean 40 years? Well, this is my life's work. The reason why there's 27 rules was that in one of the companies that I started in, it was an early stage company, the computer randomly spit out my sales number as 27. And so it was at a time in my career where everything I had already been thinking and never wrote, and I started to write them down and I put them in 27. So it was very random. It just didn't mean anything. Could there be 28? There's 100 rules I live by. The next book, which will be out sometime in 2020, is really selling in the new millennium because things have changed. The rules, the way that people have been taught, and trained to sell is wrong. It's over. It's done, So nobody answers their phone. Nobody does email. So to your point, the next extension of this will be more rules about what you need to do and be good at to sell in the new millennium. But people call me up all the time and say, hey, dude, I didn't like rule 16. That doesn't work for me. I said, good, change it, man. Make your own rules. I really, as long as you have rules to live by, even if it's one rule, it doesn't matter. Have rules to govern your behavior and your mind, and that's the first step to getting better. And that's what I think everybody should try and do every day, is wake up early and get better than you were the day before. So it's, if you can do that, success leaves clues.
I think it's pretty evident after today that he has plenty to say.
But are we going to spell out like what 28 is, or is it too soon? Could you just label? I want to make sure that you say it on this podcast and it actually gets written. I want to make sure it gets said in this podcast and it gets written in the book.
Rule 28. The next set of rules will start with something I call Prospecting University.
Okay.
Nobody's really taught how to prospect. You get into a sales organization, they teach you about all the things about them. This is who we are. This is what we're great at. Here's all the features and benefits. Now go prospect. And the prospecting tools are generally get on the phone and call. So cold calling, which is a complete waste of time. Very controversial, but I believe it's a waste of time. The calling part is not. The cold part is dead. So you use email, cold email, the return rate is 4%. Voicemail is, the return rate on email is 1%. Return on voicemail is 4%. So the concentration on how to prospect will be the start of the new rules, because that's where real change comes from. It's very eye-opening to salespeople. I go, so tell me about your plan to prospect. They're lost. So when you can create those kind of systematic changes, here's the rules of prospecting, here's the rules of how to engage in a relationship. The divorce rate's off the chart because we are not trained on how to relationships, So if you're always focused on you and you're not willing to give the other part, how much of a relationship is your responsibility?
How much of a relationship is your responsibility?
Yeah.
A lot of it.
So percentage-wise?
I like what Gary Vee talks about in terms of his 51-49 philosophy. I always feel like you should give more than you receive or take.
I believe it's 100% because the only thing you control is you. So I'll give you 100%. Whatever you give me back, I'll be grateful for. And if you give me more, that's when it'll start balancing and land at 51-49. But it starts with me willing to give you 100% without anything in return. And that's how great marriages are. That's how great business relationships are. That's how friendships are. There are some people that you're really good friends with. If you called them and said, hey, dude, my scooter is stuck, and they'll go, hey, I'll give you a phone number to call. And you'll be no, man, I'll get up across the world. I'll get on a plane. I'll be there for you. I don't care. I'm not looking for what you could do for me. I'll do it first. So, those are the next set of rules that I already have. It only dawned on me through Marc. We were sitting around one day and he goes, your next book needs to be this, because he's looking at it real time and how he's digesting the information. And I trained him on it, and he goes, people around me think I'm talking a different language, and his success is through the roof and quickly. So that's the good news, is that it doesn't take nearly as long as it used to because of the engines that are available to you.
Right.
That was a
I'm just
long
kind of glad
answer
that I
again.
got a pretty good answer. That I gave a pretty good answer. I'm always afraid of giving the wrong. like oh my gosh, I hope I don't answer this wrong.
I was so hoping you'd be wrong too.
That's good. Well, you guys, thanks again so much for coming in.
Cool. Thank you.
This was a ton of fun. And everybody, go check out episode 87. And have a wonderful start to 2020. Happy New Year from the WHOA GNV podcast. Mike, Happy New Year, buddy.
Happy New Year, buddy.
Way to be on the ball.
We made it through another one.
Happy New Year, everybody. We will see you later. Bye.
Jesus!